If you're a business owner who has been creating content online, but somehow it's not translating into sales and you're wondering why, this video is for you. Hey friends, if you're new around here, my name is Kome. I'm a business coach who is on a 100 days content creation challenge right here on YouTube. And that basically means I'm going to create and post the video every single day for 100 days without editing or scripting. And I'm doing this because I want to become a better speaker, but also build an audience of business owners and entrepreneurs who are serious about growing their business. Now, you know how people tell you to start creating content as a business owner so that you can make more sales. And so they'll say things like you need to get more visible, you need to get out on social media, you need to post more content, you need to be consistent. Like there is a whole long list of advice that they give you as a business owner because they want you to win and they want to see you make more sales. But the problem is that nobody actually teaches you what kind of content to create. How do you actually make content that brings in sales and not just entertains people? So if that is you, I want to help you. And I want to start off by saying I personally have been an entrepreneur for the past 5 years. And in that time, I've never gone viral. I've never had a video do more than 80, 90,000 views. And I've never become like a frontliner on any international publication or any news outlet or anything like that. I have simply generated sales online by doing what I'm about to teach you or share with you in this video. And yet, without any virality whatsoever, I have sold hundreds and hundreds of thousands on the internet. So I do know what I'm talking about. And I can tell you that it is very, very possible for you to grow a sustainable, profitable business without ever going viral. Now, having said that, this is exactly what people are doing wrong. But let me start from the types of people that create content online so that you understand where you are, what you should be doing differently. So, the first thing is there are three main types of people that create content on the internet. The first group of people are influencers. We all know who the influencers are. They have thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in their audiences. Now, the thing about influencing is that they create content that is relatable, entertaining, even if it is educating just a little bit. Now, the thing with influencers is that they don't want their audience to buy anything from them necessarily. So they go out of their way to make the content engaging and interesting. The way they get paid is by having a lot of engagement, and that engagement attracts brand sponsorships, deals, and other companies that want to pay them to engage or to get to their audience. So if someone is an influencer and they're sharing a lot of content and behind the scenes information, the whole point is to build an audience of engaged people so that other brands will pay them for their audience. The second group of people are content creators. Basically, they are creatives. Now, a creative person is showing up online for a very complete different purpose than an influencer. A creative is showing online, they're posting content and creating in whatever format they feel more comfortable in so that they are building a portfolio of work. Now, that portfolio of work is going to possibly get them clients who want them to do the same exact work for them. So if an artist starts to create content where they are making a painting or designing something, they're doing it so that someone else would see them on that job and then commission them to do the same work. Okay, I hope you're tracking. Now, the third group of people are entrepreneurs. Now, the reason why entrepreneurs are very different from the first two is you're not going to get paid by engagement. In fact, that is the biggest mistake you could make. If you, as an entrepreneur, start creating content and you're paying so much attention to vanity metrics, it will affect your business because it means that you're trying to create viral content, content that is entertaining and captivating. But the main point of you being online is not to create engagement or viral content, it is to make sales. And that is why a lot of people get it wrong. When they're business owners or entrepreneurs, they start to follow the vanity metrics kind of way of creating content. And that's why it's not bringing in sales, because you are creating for the wrong reasons. Now, there is a last group of people who we should not mention. Those are the people who are just random posters. They'll post on TikTok for 1 week and then get tired and then disappear. So those people are not serious about anything. They have no intention to grow any financial purpose online, and they're just there wasting their time. Okay. Now, the thing is that when you as an entrepreneur start to create content, you have to be very clear about why you are there. And that this brings me to the four main ways you should be creating content, or the four things you should think about when you are creating content, so that your content actually generates sales and not likes and not any other thing, sales. So the first thing is be clear about your intention. I think the best way that I've learned to do it is to talk about the fact that you are a business owner, you're a business or an entrepreneur, and your intention, meaning that you want to make sales. So if you remember at the beginning of this video, I shared with you that, hey, I'm a business coach and I'm training myself to become a better speaker, because yes, I do want speaking engagements. But then I also shared with you that I'm also building a community of entrepreneurs and business owners right here on YouTube. So I think that it is very important as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as someone who has a message to share with the world, when you are clear about your intention of being here, people cannot mistake your purpose or think that you are just there to entertain them. Now, even if your content is interesting, educational, entertaining, if you keep saying it, the purpose for being there, then people sort of start to remember you for why you are there. I think there are two entrepreneurs that do a fantastic job of this. One of them is Myron Golden. Now, Myron is very quick to mention in his videos that he charges people $100,000 to coach them as an entrepreneur. The second person is Alex Homozi. Alex said it right from the beginning when he started creating content right here on YouTube, that he wasn't selling anything to anybody who was making less than $1 million, meaning that his clientele were people who were making as much as $1 million in their business. And he basically shared what he was selling right from the get-go. He said, hey, I'm going to create so much content that is valuable, will help you build your business, will help you build your profitability, because I want you to hit $1 million and then we can work together. Very easy. And he said it in almost every video that I've ever seen. And so as a business owner, don't be shy to tell people why you're creating content and what is your end game. Some people will be turned off by it, but guess what? The majority of people will rather like your transparency and be prepared to work with you if they fall into the category of people who need your help. The second thing that you need to remember when you are creating content as a business owner or as an entrepreneur is you need to stop giving free anything. Now, I'm not talking about the odd free lead magnets that you put in your caption or your description right here on YouTube or any other platform. But the thing is that there are some people who start to create content and they think that the way to build their audience is by giving free stuff. So you see them constantly having giveaways, or they would even give their time away for free. Here is the thing. If you start creating content on the back of everything is free, you are going to train your audience to believe and expect everything to be free from you. And I think I've shared on this channel how I was giving everything free in the beginning of my coaching business. And it got to the point where when my coach asked me to charge something ridiculous like £20 for an event, nobody turned up. Why? Because they were already satisfied, happy, excited to get free stuff from me. So you don't want to make that mistake in your business where you train your audience to want free things. Because at the end of the day, you are not a charity. You are a business. And businesses are in business to make money. If your business is not making money, it's not a business. It's no longer a business. In fact, I don't know what it's called because it's not a business. Because even charities get donations. So if you're a business owner with no income, I don't know what you are. Okay, let's move on. The third thing you want to make sure you are doing in your content, if your intention is to make sales, is to answer your audience questions in your content. So when I make videos, I want to make videos that will answer someone's question. I remember one of the videos I made recently, which was about how to use live stream to get your next 1,000 followers on any platform. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it somewhere up here. But that video basically teaches how anybody can go and start using live stream to not just grow an audience, but to grow a business. And that video was on the back of a question someone asked me. So when you create content, you want to make sure that your content is answering valuable questions or questions that people have asked you so that your audience are getting value. And that sort of makes it very clear that you are the person they need when they are looking for an expert in your field, in your niche, in your area, whatever it is you call it. But you want to answer their questions. Now, if you don't already have a big audience, you don't have an audience at all of people who are asking you questions, use ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, I'm a skincare expert. I help people do XYZ. Okay. Can you give me 10 questions my audience are probably asking about themselves, about the problem, about the solution, so that you can use that to create content? Now, I'm going to link down below 25 questions that I ask every single client of mine, or that I give every client of mine to help them create content online. I'm going to link it down in the description. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you about how to create content as an entrepreneur who wants to make sales is for you to have a clear call to action in every single piece of content that you post. I know a lot of people complain about this and talk about, oh my God, you're being too salesy. And I'm like, your point of being an entrepreneur is to make sales. Otherwise, you could have chosen to be an influencer. You could have chosen to be anything else. You chose to be a business owner because you want to make sales. So why are we so concerned about being salesy or not being salesy? In fact, there is a stylish, artful way that you can be salesy, and it starts with being very clear and then having a call to action in your content of how people can find you, buy from you, work with you, whatever it is. So when you have a clear call to action, when you have a CTA, as we say, when you have a CTA in your content, the people who are interested will self-appoint themselves to work with you. They're like, I like what she's sharing. I want to work with her, and here is how I can work with her. I think one of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make over the years is just expecting people to know what they do or how they can help. And that's why I talk about what I do all of the time, and I also include it in my description so that at the end of the day, you know what it is that you're getting when you work with me. Now, I want to end this, and this is not one of the 4 tips of how to create content, but I do want to say you need to be consistent. I feel like consistent is that thing that everybody sees, but not everybody does, because it is hard. It is hard to keep showing up even when there's nobody watching. Like I shared in one of my videos that some of my videos here on YouTube have 6 views. 6 views. And it is so discouraging, especially if you don't have a massive audience yet. But I want to encourage you to keep going, because content is like seedlings. Like the more you put out, the more chances that you're going to end up with a tree, with a mighty garden or forest, because you have taken the time to plant little seedlings every single place that you can. So I hope that it encourages you to keep going. If you've watched this video to this point and you love everything you've heard, you've gotten value from it. I'm going to drop two gifts. The first one I mentioned is 25 questions that you can go and ask your 25 questions that you can use to create more content as an entrepreneur in a way that will get you sales. And the second one is my roadmap of how to turn your knowledge or your expertise into a business that generates $100,000 every single year. They're going to be linked in the description and in the comments. I hope that you follow along because according to the analytics, only 28% of the people who are watching these daily videos are subscribed to the channel. So if you will help me subscribe to the channel and also hit the thumbs up so that people who need this information can see it. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.